LSU got a massive commitment today. Of course, it's draft day, which is the bulk of our show. But LSU women's basketball got a massive commitment today. Haley Van Lith picked the Tigers. And LSU women, the women's basketball program has just completely gone viral. They've gone kaboom. They won the national championship. We know Angel Reese has become legit famous, not just women's basketball or sports famous. Like, they parodied her on SNL. She is famous now. And I would argue that the biggest contributor before the national championship game of LSU women's basketball's virality is the guy sitting to my immediate left. It's content creator, videographer Taylor O'Brien, who happens to be Gordon McKernan's in-house videographer, but has done so much content creation around LSU athletics, most of which you have seen, but maybe didn't know it was through his lens. He's here with us in studio. How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm great. I got things going my way, so everything is going very well.
Man, Taylor, if you haven't had a chance to listen, Taylor and we met. I do the NIL podcast Rosters to Riches with Jonathan Pixley, and we were interviewing Jordan Arcemont. And Taylor just reached out to me and called. He said, "Hey, man, do you mind if I just come in and shoot it and film it?" I'm like, I don't even know who you were. I was like, "Oh, come on, I don't care, whatever." We met, we talked, and we had you as a guest on the podcast because your story is pretty interesting. Give us the Cliff's Notes version of your backstory, who you are, and how you got to where you are right now.
Yeah, so grew up home in Louisiana, worked in Port Fourchon for the last 7 years, driving 18-wheelers, and I was living in the Woodlands, Texas, so I would leave home for 7 days and then go to Fourchon for 7 days. And, you know, I was getting tired of that. I wanted something different. So when I was in Fourchon, I learned how to become a fitness trainer. So doing that, I ended up filming a lot of my clients with the camera. And one day, one of my clients actually used a nice camera, and I was like, man, wow, that's crazy. So I started just recording testimonials of my clients and then watching their reaction and the impact it had. Watching their face light up whenever they seen themselves, it was something that was really impactful to me. And so I just took that love into football. I played high school football, loved it. I was we went 11-2 at Terrebonne, represent Tiger, and I was running back. So I always loved the game football, and I always loved an underdog story. So showing light on some kids that were at an elite camp at LSU. They had some dads that were filming, and I went show them. Asked which one's their son, recorded it, sent it to him, went viral. Wasn't expecting to go viral, never asked for any money for it. And then from there, man, I just love showing up at a high school game, filming, practicing for LSU the next day. And so I'm just following what I love, and it's now turned into a full-time career in one of the biggest marketing companies in Louisiana, so everything's going very well.
I want to talk about the work you do with Gordon. Of course, we got a great relationship with Gordon here, but the Kim Mulkey videos are what went kaboom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to describe it, it's what you do these slow-mo videos of Kim Mulkey on the sideline, which everyone has seen. Like, everyone has seen them now. You shot them. So walk me through how, why, the train camera on Mulkey, slow-mo, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I had no idea who Kim Mulkey was till I came to Baton Rouge. I knew she was big. I knew she was a personality, and I've seen her react before, and I was like, whoa, like, what is that? And I ended up just putting the camera on her, and man, the first video of that major freak out's at 25 million. So from there, I was like, I'm gonna double down on this, and I'll just keep reposting, and I would follow them throughout the season, every home game. And it turned out in the last 60 days on TikTok, I've reached 90 million views.
It's incredible.
Which is insane. And I'll show my video to someone, they start talking social media, I just let them go, and then I'll show them the Kim video, and they're like, oh my God, this is you. It's so cool. I'm recognized in public. It's crazy.
90 million views. Like,
yeah.
For context, like, that's almost the amount of people that watch the Super Bowl have watched your videos of Kim Mulkey. So when I say, like, you're as responsible for LSU women's basketball going viral as until the championship game, like, I'm not being facetious. Like, do you see it that way? Like, is that kind of like, is that lost on you a little bit?
No, I mean, whenever they packed out the PMAC and it was sold out, I've had messages that people said, don't think you didn't play a part in that. And I didn't realize. I just got my head down. I'll edit till 3 a.m, wake up at 7 and do it all again. I'm just so enamored by the impact it's had. And so being a part of that and their historic run is just, I'm just documenting history.
Taylor O'Brien is with us, videographer, the in-house videographer for Gordon McKernan. Tailored Technique is where you'll find him on social media platforms. It's not just women's basketball, though. Look, you've done collabs with us. You've gone out and shot football practice for us. You'll be doing some stuff in the fall with football games. Here's a video you did of Livy Dunn at a gymnastics meet. How much do you balance your work with Gordon? I guess like your 9 to 5, right?
Yep.
And all of this, which I guess I would be considered just extra, just you doing this on your own?
Yeah, when I clock out, I drink an energy drink at about 4:30. People think I'm crazy, but I got to go home and do my stuff too, you know? So it's everything's popping, and I got the energy. I'm young. I don't have anything holding me back. So right now it's time to get it. And I mean, you see the traction. It's just taking off. YouTube's like 40,000 subs, and everything just keeps continuing to repopulate and go famous.
I want to talk a little bit also about what you do with Gordon. So we've all seen the content, the grubbing with G, the sort of the one-on-one sit-downs he has with the members of the G team. Take us a little bit sort of behind the scenes there, what that's like to work with Gordon on these projects, and then to obviously work with all the athletes as well.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who Gordon was at all till, last July when I moved down to Baton Rouge. And when we had a video go viral, I reached out to him, and they offered me a position. And Gordon is somebody, you think lawyer, you think they chase ambulances or whatever, but
Right.
Gordon's really a solid guy. And what he does for these athletes, he don't want nothing from it. Like, there's opportunities where these kids come in and other people want a little piece of the pie. Gordon gives it all to them. And watching him work with these athletes to give them a platform to speak on. Angel Reese, we talked about the difference on treatment with women versus men, and like those things that are kind of uncomfortable to talk about. Gordon shines light on it, and he's there for the people. And being a part of that, I just want to be able to give my all for somebody like Gordon to really highlight things that otherwise would be probably swept under the rug.
It's like the really interesting thing that I've noticed through a lot of the content as well. We see like the grubbing with G stuff with him with like here's one you did with Trey Morgan that you shot. There's stuff just like of Gordon at his home. It's like you're kind of like documenting his life a little bit as well, which I don't imagine that was his intention initially when he entered the NIL space. Talk me through, if you would, how that transition and transformation of all this content creation sort of happened.
Well, I was hired as his personal videographer, and then we get in here and there's NIL things happening, which is a whole nother process, and it's just a lot. And following him around, he's a very busy person, and then there's deliverables for NIL athletes, and we're to the point to now where we have a whole team, and now we're hiring editors, we're hiring a whole staff to really blow this thing up because it's growing. I mean, he's got millions of views on TikToks. He's at 13.7 thousand, and it's just growing so rapidly. And being around him and his family in such an intimate, close position. We was at the dinner the other night with Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to Coach Frank, and on the left of me is just like a real estate developer, and like every day I'm at work and I could like break down in tears just like trying to comprehend what's going on, and it's something that I don't take for granted ever.
I'm glad. I want to ask sort of a one-off because I want to remind people that a year ago, like, you were driving trucks, you were driving big rigs. And by the way, this is not in any way meant to be disparaging. Like, America moves by trucks. I have the utmost respect for people who get behind the wheel of a rig and haul loads around our country. Like, serious respect. That's not, you would think I was just driving. Like, that ain't an easy thing to do, to be on the road that much. And that's how our country and our commerce goes. But lifestyle, brother, you just went from like driving a rig and living in Port Fourchon to this, all because of that camera right there. So there's somebody listening right now who's got an eye or an ear for that. What do you tell that person?
I tell them, if you have any interest in a camera or a phone or content creation, stop playing around, start posting. It will literally change your life, and you could be at the table with, the biggest of the biggest, and it'll never feel real, but you have to post. You got to stop worrying about what other people are doing. Think about documenting instead of creating. And that's the biggest thing I tell people. Just hit record for 8 seconds, put a quote up there, and let it run.
It's amazing what can happen when that does. By the way, real quick, and Taylor O'Brien is with us. Make sure you follow him on all the socials at Tailored Technique. I just got it's so funny that you came in today, and we had planned for you to come in today, but literally just in my inbox, I got this NIL announcement of an NIL deal that Harold Perkins did with John Deere, and you went and shot this thing. So tell me about this thing.
Yeah, so I had John Deere, Baton Rouge, Sunco reach out to me. They wanted to hire me for an off job for an NIL deal with Harold Perkins, and I was like, absolutely. I have 77 message requests, and I don't have ever catch every message, but when I saw Harold, I was like, I'm on it. And she knew my work from TikTok. We lined it up, and we went. Watched Harold get on tractors yesterday. He was petting horses, and we're like, let's get him away from the horse. We can't be risking a horse kick.
A horse kick, no kidding, man.
But he did great. Great smile, great guy. Really looking forward to this season.
Man, I'm looking forward to being able to keep in touch and visit as often as we can. I think your story is fantastic, and so many people, I think, are going to learn and be inspired by what you're doing, especially in this age where there is so much opportunity for content creators, man. So keep it rolling, man. We'll look forward to visiting again. Oh, wait, last thing I did want to ask, because you shot the pivot as well.
Yeah.
So when after the women won the national championship, Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder did the pivot at LSU with Angel Reese and Flau'jae. Take us a little bit of a behind the scenes there.
Oh man, the crew called me up. They needed an extra cameraman, and I said I'm there. Ended up going on, and Flau'jae, she seen me because she sees me at Gordon. She sees me there. I saw her at the Kevin Gates concert, and she's like, Taylor, you everywhere. I'm like, I got you. And I love just being a resource for people. I don't expect nothing from it, and I'm giving people a light. We go TikTok live every night around 10 p.m. If any content creators or we talk anything from content creation to mental health, how was your days type stuff. So we got a good thing going.
Make sure you follow Taylor on TikTok. I've seen your TikTok lives plenty. I mean, it's just you're just sitting up editing at 10 o'clock at night and you just turn the camera. Like you said, document.
Yeah.
Don't create document.
That's it.
Good stuff, man. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.